Jabrones, let's get started. Let's see here. Let me open up my current task. Today we're gonna be, and let me close this out so you don't get psychedelic out of there. Today, I think we're gonna be doing Ground Crush. You probably saw that in the video, and maybe that doesn't mean anything to you right now. But basically, what I'm thinking. Hey, Jake, glad you're here. Also, Zenny, glad you're here. Bentley, glad you're here as well. Very cool, guys. So yesterday, I know that doesn't look awesome, but it's a quest game, and maybe I'll make it look a little better in a minute here. But it doesn't look too bad when you're standing here. It looks like you're kind of in a dirt patch amongst a grass patch. But basically, what we got yesterday was we hooked up the microphone. That way, okay, we got some other people rolling in too. Glad you're here, my name. Glad you're here, Chesko. Glad you're here, Jake Beast. So yesterday we got the mic hooked up. So basically, it's now listening for the mic, and if you're above a certain threshold, you're powering up, and if you're below that, you're not powering up. We don't have any depowering or anything like that. It's a little too much and won't really matter for the game anyway. So you scream and you power up, and the power-ups we have so far are really just this dust. So that'll be one of the first power-ups. Basically, you'll be like, and dust will start kind of blowing out around you. And there should be about 8 others, and then we will be pretty much good to go. Yesterday, a lot of it was figuring out how to make these particles work correctly and look good on the new universal render pipeline. So if anybody is having trouble with that, basically what I ended up doing was, let me actually just check to make sure. So there's the material it's using. I had to switch it to universal render pipeline, particles, simple lit. And then I had to turn flipbook blending off, which I believe was closed. So you had to open it up and turn that off. When it's on, for some reason, it looks really, really bad. And then you have to turn soft particles on, and you have to go into your settings, these right here, and make sure depth texture is on. Initially, I thought depth texture would mean that it was rendering a pre-pass depth texture, which means the first thing it does while rendering the scene, while outputting this image to your screen, is it renders all the objects to a depth buffer, which basically just tells the computer how far away things are from your camera. And that can be expensive if you do that pre-pass, but this is just a normal depth buffer depth texture, which is basically means as it's rendering the color to your screen, it's also going to render the depth texture. So it's a little bit different there. Hey 7Z, glad you're here. Have I done any testing in VR? No, not really, not yet. Nothing really to test yet. The only thing I did was make sure that it gets my voice. So I think today we're going to work on a ground crush shader. And what that will basically be, I already have the math for it somewhere, as I like it, but I need to convert it to the universal render pipeline. Basically, Unity's currently going through a transition, and I'm making it earlier rather than later, and everything kind of needs to be switched over. So let's see, I think what we need to do is first find the script from the old project. From this one, and let's see, where would it be? Ground Crush shader. Do I have anything in here? Just some math. Ground Crush shader. So I'd already written this the old way, but I need to take a look at it and see what it actually is I did. What's this game about? 7. It is called Saiyan Power Up Simulator. It's not. I wouldn't even necessarily say it's a game as much as an experience, this one. But basically, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, they always, to power up, they always just scream as loud as they can, and then crazy stuff starts happening, like, the trees start blowing in the wind and lightning starts striking, and they're just like, ah. So I thought that would be fun to do in VR. At least I know I'll have fun doing it, so I imagine that means other people will have fun doing it as well. So this whole shader graph thing, that's so nice and easy, it used to look like this. So be happy. But basically, we're going to look at this crush map here. And what's happening? Get normal, Euler. Okay, so that would be a little bit of a problem. I forgot that it messes with the normal the normal, but that shouldn't be anything that we're not able to do. Let's see. So in your vertex, you basically take the vertex position and you put it into the crush map. And it's just the object position. So this is how this stuff would read. Are the other games like Silkworm Up? They're currently being reviewed, Enrique. And if you guys want to help out with questions like that, I would appreciate it. Just because we get them a lot. Let's see. So you're taking in the object space position. You're passing it to this function, which is going to get the crush map. But then you also need to do the normal. So let's see if we can just do the crush map first before we get on with all this other stuff here. Crush distance. Was there anything else? Okay, and there was a specific way I was doing the math. Okay, cool. So let's just remake this function. Basically, let's go into art, materials, hills, shaders, hills. Okay, and then we need let's create a, what would it be called? A subgraph. And we'll call it crush map. In graphics, when you're talking about, what would it be, like a function that takes in 2 variables and outputs 1, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, you normally call it a map. So that's why I'm calling it a crush map, because it's going to take in its x and its z position, like where it is on this plane, and it's going to output the height, like how tall it should be. So that would be called a crush map. So let's take a look at this. What did it do? Takes in its vertex position, gets the distance between that and the player. Okay, so we need to make the, maybe it doesn't quite work in here because we need a property of some sort. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember how this works. I believe I can, let me look at this shader graph built-in values. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to get the player position into the shader right now. Shader built-in values, Unity, built-in shader variables. If I can't figure this out quickly, I'll just go back into Silkworm because I did it there. I'm trying to remember which one I did it for. But I did it there. World space camera position. So we basically need to create a, what is it? It's a float 3. We need to create a vector 3. We need to call it this. We need to click it. We need to click that. The name is good. Override property. Okay, cool. So then we'll bring this out here. It's because we're going to work with that. And we also are working with the world position. So we will position world. And we're going to create splits because we actually only want to work with the x and z directions. This is going to be x, y, and z. So we'll plug that in and just grab the x and the z from it. So we need to make a vector 2. And if you guys have any questions about how this is going, but so far, basically, I've just taken their world position, which is where they are in the world. I've gotten only the x and the z, even though it's RGBA, x and the z, and put them into a different vector. And then I'm going to do that same thing with this guy here. Okay, and then I'm going to create a distance or a length. So would it be distance between these two? Which would, the formula for that would be pretty much this minus this will get us, if you subtract two vectors, is there any games out? No. I've been doing this for 2 months now, and Oculus has not that they've unapproved any games. They haven't said anything about any of the games I've made. The only game I have out is a application for mental health called Grove. So they've approved that, so I know they will approve it. It just takes them a while. Okay, so if you have two vectors, let me see. Maybe I can draw this out for you guys. One second here. And I don't know who's learned this in math class yet, but essentially a vector is a direction with a magnitude, most commonly known as like an arrow, like a direction pointing it. So if my arm was the vector and this was the origin, that's a vector, this is a vector, that's a vector. It's basically just like, hey, what direction and how long? So the direction in this case would be pretty much like, I don't know, up and to the right, and then its magnitude, the length of it, how long it is, would be, let's say 1. Let's say that it would be 1, right? And then you could have another one that's pointing in the same direction, but this one is twice as long, so it would have a magnitude of 2. So if you have vectors, let me get rid of this. So if you have two vectors, one pointing this direction and one pointing in this direction, if I take this one and subtract this one from it, it's actually going to give me a vector pointing in this direction. And this is actually not quite what it'll be. It'll actually be down here from the same position, starting at the same position as the other ones. But conceptually, it's basically a vector that points from the tip of this one to the tip of this one. So to find the distance between two vectors, let's say this is the world position, and this one is the player's position. Basically, I would take this, I would subtract this, it gets me this vector. Actually, sorry, that's not true. It gets me this vector. Yeah. And then I would take the length of this. And now I know how far away this point is from this point. Let's say it's like 1.2 or something like that. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. And yes, Caleb, that is Jake from the Discord. So right here, we're taking these two vectors, we're subtracting them like I said, and then we need to create a load called length. And that will be in here. We'll plug that up. Let's go ahead and give us some space here. And let's output that. What are the graph settings? What is this going to output? It's going to output a single value. So that works in our favor. Height, and it is a float. Very cool. So that should be good. And then over here, we can take this. I think we can put it under, yeah, subgraph seems good. Okay. So then I think we should be able to save that, come back here, do crush maps, so now we can use that. I don't remember it taking in anything. Yeah, so I was worried about that. Okay, it looks like we will have to pass this in, even though it's a built-in value. I think we have to make it up here. I think we have to make it up here. Vector 3, we'll do the same thing. World. We're basically just naming it what it's already named in Unity. World space, camera position. turn it, you have to turn exposed off. And then I believe we have to change this to world space camera position. Okay, I don't know why all those went weird. And if we bring this out here and plug this in. Okay, and it looks like we're having some trouble with intervalize. Let me go check it. So it's saying that, okay, be right back. I'm gonna go to lunch. All right, see you, Caleb. Oh, yeah. No worries, my name. I mean, if you don't have the like correct background on the math, then it's not really gonna make a ton of sense right up front, but you could understand it, given the... Okay, so it's all just pink, and it looks like we're having some trouble with this world space camera position. This is a little bit annoying because in this version it's very easy to get that sort of thing, but in this version they haven't quite figured that out yet. So I just need to figure this out, which will take me a second. You know what it might be? It might just be because it's in this... Let's just do camera position. Let's save it. That might be the problem. Okay, and it's still saying that it's not. I just don't know. Let's see, guys, here, just fixing a bug. World space. Let's just try it again. We'll make it. Let's move it out here. Okay, no bugs yet. Plug that in. Get rid of this. Okay, it's good to go so far. It's not going to be anything. Yeah, it'll be... Well, actually, I think that is good. That's what we want. Where's this? I guess we don't have a player in the scene. Let's see if we can create a camera. Okay. You know, that actually would not... You know what I just realized? I'm not actually sure that we even need... I'm not even sure that we need the camera position because the player's not going to move where they are. So I think I don't think we need that at all, actually. I think all we need is a vector 2 that starts at 0, 0. And that'll get us what we want, which is this. Okay, cool. So now let's go back to the... I don't know why I was messing around with that. Okay. So you have this distance, saturate the distance, divided by crush distance. Okay, cool. Crush distance, take this, move this over, give it some space, create a node, we'll call it saturate, grab it, crush distance. So you have the length, and then you're gonna basically divide. Divides aren't as good as multiplications are. If you can use a multiplication, but that's okay. Crush distance, saturate it. Okay, and then so that's that line of code. New bias approach. Okay, and then we bias it. And then we change the vertex position down. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Do they have bias? They do not have a bias. Okay, let's go into common subgraphs. Let's create a new one. Because I'm going to use this bias and a bunch of other shaders, I believe. So it would be helpful for me to create a bias one here. And bias is a common function in math that basically just says if I have if I have a graph and it's linear, well, if I have a graph and it's linear, it's all right, imagine that's as straight as can be. I instead want it to look like this. That's a bias. And so the reason I'm using this bias is because the way the math works currently, basically the crater that developed under us would look like this. It would look like this weird V, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But if you get this bias function in here, now the crater will look like this, which is actually exactly what we want, because that looks like a crater that could feasibly happen. So this to this. So that's a lot nicer for us. Any questions about that, let me know. So the way bias works is you have two numbers, the number you're trying to bias and the bias value, and you take the power of that number to the log 10 of b and the log 10 of 0.5. So let's see if we can do that. So that's going to be a pretty expensive function, but whatever. X, B, log base 10, log base 10b, and 0.5. Okay. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's copy this. So hopefully, let me think. I don't know if this is going to optimize it to, hopefully it's a good optimizer. So like, okay, here's something. If I have 0.5 and I'm taking log 10 of 0.5 for every pixel, why do that if I can just pre-compute the number and then just give it that number instead of doing all this math each time? So let's just do that. Log 10.5. Okay, cool. Okay, get rid of this. I'm sure it would optimize that, but I am not positive, so we should get rid of it. Okay, log 10, log of the b divided by log of the 0.5, okay. You know, and even this bias actually, I believe is going to be hard-coded. Like I pass in 0.2. So why am I not just doing the same thing there? And then even that, I should probably do the division. Wait, you know what? Ah, shit. No, because I need this to be generic. I need it. Sorry, I was thinking as if I was just making it for this game, but I need this to be a generic function that I can use across any game. So this works, but we still will need to do the log 10 of that one. And then we will need to do this divide here. Okay, cool. So I believe it's x to the power of that. And it should be a float. And we'll just name it out. Okay, so that should be good, but let's take a look at it real quick. B log 10 divided by this number here, which is always going to be constant, and then x to the power of that number. Cool, so that should be good. And this will go under common subgraphs. We'll save it, come back to hills, and then we'll take a look at this. Okay, so it's going to go in, this crush map. So we had all this, we saturated it. So sometimes, while this is nice, sometimes it can be slower, unfortunately. But, it's all at a cost. Let's see here. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. Bias. Distance equals 1 minus bias, the distance. Subtract. Okay, so we did that 1 minus. Oh wait, my bad. Okay, cool. And then we need to multiply this by a crush height. Which let's just say is 10 for right now. So we've done that part, and then we need to multiply it by that down vector. Okay, cool. And hopefully this is not too crazy for the quest. Hopefully the quest can pull this off. We'll see though. So how to output a vector 3, the height, and we'll save it. Go back to hills. Hey, Caleb, glad you're back. Crush distance, put it in here, just so that we can set it in the editor. And then we'll pretty much just hope that this works, although I'm a little bit dubious. So far, it should just output a color. Okay, so right now it's all black. All right, so let's make the crush distance like 20. Let's go in the hills. Let's get rid of this. And let's just give it that. Very cool. Okay. So what are we expecting it to look like here so far? That doesn't look bad. I mean, cool. I guess what we need right now is for it to change the vertex based on that. So let's see if we can get that to happen. And then maybe that'll make it a little more obvious what's happening here. Okay, so let's put the color back. Okay, cool. So all the colors back, and then let's go back into hills. And now we're changing the object space vertex position based on this. So okay, so it's something in there is very wrong, but we'll figure it out. Let's see, let me take a sip of water here. Because you can see the hills are now gone. Okay, so we have this crush map. Let's just get rid of parts of it until we feel good about what's happening. Saturate it. What did it used to be? Distance was just saturated, then you did this bias. So if we did it without the bias, okay, and then we came in here and we did position. Do world. Add. Okay, wait a second. We need this to be object. We add these two together and then we plug it in. Let's see. So it actually looks like there's a tiny bump right in the center here. So it's kind of the opposite of what we wanted. Let's see. Okay, well, let's make this 20. So that's good. We're at least like on some sort of track here. So it's a tiny bump. You add, I'm pretty sure it should be negative, should it not? Because you're multiplying by this negative vector here. Okay, so now it caves in just a little bit. It's still not quite what we want. And I think that's probably because crush height is low. It must be. And where am I even doing crush height? Okay, it was supposed to be here. So let's move these up for now. Plug that in. Okay, very cool. And so it's this weird, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's this weird like diamond shape, which I have to say is a little surprising. I was not expecting a diamond shape. I certainly was expecting the sharpness of it. And that's, remember, what we were talking about with this, because we don't have the bias function in there anymore. I don't know why it is like a diamond. But let's take a look at it. So now we're getting close enough to it's not so arbitrary anymore. All right, world position, split it, x, z, into a vector, subtract this vector. So the further away it is, the longer this length is going to be. The further away it is from the center. Subtract it, get the length of it. I would expect a nice cone. Okay, anyway, back to it. Get the length divided by the crush distance. Saturate it so that it can't go over 1. Then multiply that by 10. Then multiply that by this up vector. But let's make this down again. Okay, it's up. And let's go into hills and let's take a look at this. So we're passing in, I guess it's vertex position, the object position, and that will be converted to world. No worries there. But you have this. Where do I even use crush distance in here? Okay, cool. Okay, I will learn game design to do the job in the pipeline. Where to start? Job in the pipeline. Game level design to do the job in the pipeline. Level design is interesting because you're not saying you want to be a programmer or anything like that. So you'll probably, I think you could honestly probably just start with placing. The problem is you need to find. Okay. I would say it wouldn't be a bad bet to work on creating levels for games that have some sort of level maker. That's my first thought. Because they already are a pre-existing game, you can make things for them. And what you're trying to prove as a level designer is that you can make interesting levels that people enjoy playing, things like that. So you might have good luck with that. If you can prove that, hey, I make this level and a few thousand people wanted to play it, that would look good to people who are looking for that sort of thing, is what I would say there. Okay, so it looks like what's happening is everything is actually moving down and this is staying up. So there's we're missing like a 1 minus something somewhere in here. But let's just take a look at this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to figure this out on my own time since we've spent enough time on this already. But basically, you get the general idea. Now the hills will basically crush sort of to my liking. There's some more work that needs to be done that basically will go into, you know what it is? You know what it is? I just realized it is happening. This texture must not be high enough resolution. Yeah, there we go. So this is happening, this function that I wrote, it happens at every vertex position, which is where these triangles meet here. It basically runs once here, it runs once here, it runs once here, as opposed to at every pixel, which would be all of this in between. So because of that, and because the mesh is not that high resolution, that's why we're getting this sort of weirder look, which I'm honestly not too worried about. That's still fine for now. If we make this sufficiently big and sufficiently deep, I don't think it'll really matter. So let's say it's out here. Now it looks like a huge crater. So that'll probably work. Let's go in here. Okay, so that's good that we figured that out. So let's go in here and make this, well, let's hook it up so that we don't have to crush height, put that here, do this. Okay, that's nice. Go back to hills. Create a crush height. It's nice. And plug it in here. Cool. Come back here. Now crush height is 0. We're going to increase it. So basically during the game, what Super Saiyan are you going to put? Super Saiyan 1. Probably just Super Saiyan 1, I'd say. Not anything. Kaioken would be cool, but no, just Super Saiyan 1 for now. Just something simple like that. Okay, so now if we're looking at it, we basically see that you will be charging up, and then suddenly it'll go something like that, and it'll play a sound, and you'll have this huge crater under you that you created with your energy. So that should be good. Maybe we'll make it like that. Maybe you have a ton of energy. But that's how that will work. The only thing left on this, I'd say, is that the normals are a little messed up. And so there's kind of, can you please put mastered Ultra Instinct? Yeah, everybody wants the Ultra Instinct. I don't know if, I don't know how do you think I would do Ultra Instinct? I guess it would just be the hair, right? And the like color of the aura around you. Okay, cool. So the only thing left, is there a simple, you see how the lighting, let's see here. If I take this directional light and I rotate it, it changes on the hills, right? Like if I put it over here, it changes that hill. You can see like right up in here, the sun is being blocked. Because I'm procedurally changing where this mesh is, it doesn't actually get that lighting. So if I change it to like, I don't know, something like this, you see that this area right here, which shouldn't be being hit by light, is not actually any darker than this area over here, which is being hit by a ton of light based on this sun angle. So there is some math that needs to go into changing that. And maybe now that I figured that out, it's not even 3 yet. So are you going to be able to fight other players? No, it's purely a power-up game. It's not really, it's more of an experience than a fighting sim or anything like that. So let's see. So we basically need to change the object normals here. And the way we're going to do that, let me think. I don't believe there's an analytical solution, which would mean I like solve it mathematically, but what I did earlier was what's called a numerical solution. So basically you're just kind of approximating what the normal would be. And I did it like this. And let me think. This actually isn't too bad. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Get normal Euler. Okay, it does use crush map in it. I think we'll probably just... do it again here. Okay, so we need a float value. It's called epsilon, and that's basically the amount. Well, we won't talk too much about that. World position, dx. Sorry, what am I doing? World position, dx, question map. Vertex position plus epsilon. Okay. So we need two of these. Okay, and let's add a vector 2 here and call it offset, because we're going to offset the world position. This is all a little silly, but that's okay. Oh wait, my bad. It would actually be here. Okay, and we'll save that. Okay, so that's the new one in case we want to offset it a little bit. Then we come back to hills, and now we have this. And it's basically going to be x and z dx. Let's just make two vector 2's real quick. This one will go in that one, this one will go in that one. Cool. And then the offset for this one will be this one. And for this one, it'll be this one. Crush distance, crush height. Let's do this again. And for those of you, again, who don't know what I'm... All right, I'll say my name. Basically, right now I'm trying to adjust the normals, which is if I have a surface and it's planar right here, let's say it's the back of this cup here, it's a surface. Its normal is pointed directly away from the surface. If I tilt it like this, it's now that way. If I tilt it like this, it's now that way. So when I crush the ground in, basically it's acting as if it's a flat surface when really it should be more like this cup where the normal inside the cup is now pointing inside and the normal inside this way is pointing this way. It's not doing that. So we need to calculate what those new normals are, and we're doing it by basically taking that crush map and messing with it a little bit. We basically perturb the position just a tiny bit, and then we check what the gradient is of that difference, which is a little, I wouldn't expect you guys to maybe fully understand. It would really require a much more in-depth talk, I think. Basically, we got both these crush maps. X is going to be dx minus world position. Then we take the cross product of those two. There you go, we did it. Oh no. You know what it is? Again, it's just not a high enough resolution, I believe. So it's having trouble here. That, or we got the math totally wrong. Let's see that. It looks like the math is probably just wrong. Let's see. If we don't get it on this next one, when you make a game, is it possible to make Ultra Instinct without the hair? Like without the hair color, and then make a copy of Ultra Instinct, that then other copy put the hair color to have the two Ultra Instincts. How's the game going? It's going good, Goose, and I'm not sure I understand your question, Mr. Josui. When you make a game, is it possible to make like Ultra Instinct like without the hair color, and then make a copy of the Ultra Instinct, then that other copy put the hair color to have the two Ultra Instinct? I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. If you would like to elaborate a little more. But the game is going good, Goose. Let's see. And you have the offset and that. You have the world position, you split it. You take the X and the Z. You add that offset to it. And that's the new pass-in that you're doing. So that's fine. Over here, I believe the offset is correct. They're both using crush distance and crush height. That one's X, that one's Z. Mm-hmm. I see. It's still bad. Okay. That's okay. That I'll figure out later. That I'm not so worried about. In fact, we might not even need that to get the look that we're going for. So we won't worry about that for now. Let's move on. Cool. For now, I'm happy with the crushing. I'm always so jealous of game creators. They get to play the game while making it. You could be a game creator yourself, Gusei. If you want to join the Discord, there's a text channel in there on how to get started, and it's very easy. Like 7 people or so have already started and are already making games, so it's not too bad. It's not as bad as you think it might be. Okay, cool. Anyway, so that's all done. Let's get rid of that, and let's, what would be next? I think I should probably take a second here to make a to-do list. That way it doesn't take me so long to come up with what I'm doing next. Let's call this to-do, and let's open that bad boy up. Let's make a summary. Well, actually, let's just get rid of all this. Then let's make a summary, and we'll call it to-do. And we'll say all the power levels. Sky darken, lightning, dust in bowl, birds, wind in trees. I mean to have mastered Ultra Instinct in the normal. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because I guess it was different in the show, wasn't it? There was there was that initial part that I guess you thought was Ultra Instinct, and then the real Ultra Instinct. No, so we won't be doing Ultra Instinct. I do not think in this. We'll just be doing Super Saiyan. Um, or okay. Anyway, I don't need to write all these down. And then I don't know if there's anything else beyond that. So let's just work on more power levels, I guess. Okay, cool. Let's see. Although I do agree Ultra Instinct would be really cool because obviously it's the coolest. Whatever new power up he has is always the coolest. Let's see. Okay, so we are going to import. We're going to import a package called like Dynamisky or something like that. I believe it works with the Universal Render Pipeline. My assets. Let's get all of them. Let's look up cloud. Simple dynamic clouds. For some reason, I had believed that it was going to work, and we'll see. I'm worried now that it will not because we're running Universal Render Pipeline. Just wait for it to load in here. And let's go ahead and open up the scene and see if it works. It does appear that it works, so that's really good for us. Okay, and he's even got it on a dome. So these will be really simple clouds, but it should be pretty good. Okay, cool. So let's open this back. Let's put this in imported. Let's back into our main scene, and let's see if we can get some clouds in here. That will start off nice and will change to be. Let me rename this to simple dynamic clouds. I don't know why he put that BFH in front of it. BFW. Okay, so he's got them on this. He's got low and high. Don't care about the. Let me unpack that. Let me get rid of high. Now I've just got low. And it's on a mesh. I think that mesh is probably fine. Let's move it up. The placement for this might be a little bit hard. Let's make it bigger. Okay, cool. So now you have these rolling clouds. That are on ball, and ball is only, okay, that's within our budget, so that should be fine. Let's see here, I definitely worry about okay, this actually isn't bad either, the terrain. So we should be within budget for the quest. For those of you who don't know, the quest, these down here, max in my scene, I cannot have more than 10,000. So to have 8,000 for the terrain is pretty good. We have a character model coming in that will be about 5,000, I believe. And then this sky is a couple thousand. And we're going to need to get trees in there. That should be a lot. This game is going to be amazing. I just feel it. I'm glad you're excited about it, Mr. Josie. I have made it before in a certain sense, and I'll say it was very funny to play. It was it's kind of like laughably fun, where you can't believe you're screaming into this VR headset. But then it like the lightning rolls in, and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm getting pretty pumped out. Okay, cool. So let's. Can we stretch it out this way? Can we make it a little bigger? And then can we lower it down? Actually, I don't like it when... I honestly am not even really a huge fan of the fact that it's a dome. I'd rather it was flatter, I think. Let me take a look at this. Let me jump into VR and take a look at this right here and see how weird this looks. Oh. Okay, looks like I did not have this as a... Looks like I did not have it as a rift, so I just need to set that up real quick. It's giving me trouble for some reason. Okay, and this appears to have broken. Okay, no, it's good. One second here, guys, if I can get this in. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Oh, did I put a camera in here? No. It should be spawning the player. Okay, cool. I think I need to restart it real quick. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes this will happen where if you try to run the Unity scene before you have this set up as a Rift, it will then not work from then on. Then you just need to restart it real quick. Okay, cool, and let's play it. Okay, that's unfortunate. It looks like in VR the clouds do not actually work. So you'll be able to see that if I switch this to my right eye. There's no clouds. And my left eye there is clouds. So, oh, and it looks like the power up started with the dust. So that looks good. That's cool. But, dang it. I was really excited about this cloud system too. I thought it was really going to work. I will probably take at least a second here. Let's take at least a second to see if we can make it work before we get rid of it, because this would be really good for us. We really want this. Let's go into it. What was it called? Dynamic clouds. I'm just getting a gauge on all the assets. So it looks like we need to go into 2D clouds. It's got this, blah, 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 blah. Z right off, call off. I'm a little worried about all the texture fetches. That's never good. Okay, this game is... You know, I do wonder, actually, if I change this to... multi-pass, and I change this to multi-pass, will it work? I believe the answer is yes. Okay, it will. So that works. The problem is I'm not happy with that because it's not really an Sorry, this is probably the single biggest optimization you can make for a VR game, is switching this to multi-view. It basically reduces the CPU rendering time by half, which is a lot when it's already taking up like 4 milliseconds of your 11 millisecond budget. So I definitely want that. I guess what I'm now looking for is how to convert this shader to that. So this might actually be a little bit easier than I thought. Okay, and that's back on multi-view. Let's check. Is it just that easy? It is. Wow. You know, I've honestly, my faith that that was going to work was probably 2%. I was like, wow, I'm wasting everybody's time. So now you can see the cloud in both eyes. I can. Want to check this bad boy out. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's in both eyes? Alright, so now we have nice simple clouds for a nice simple headset. So that's cool. It looks a little bit like it's really, really close to me, so we'll move that up, but that's not a problem. That's just artistic. It's not technical. And I'm actually going to add this. Let me check on the asset store, because I think I'll probably add this to the assets that I make available to you guys. Well, you'll see. This is a new thing I'm doing, but I don't know if it's allowed if I change the code and then resubmit it. It's free. I technically upgraded it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'll make this a thing that you guys can use. Yeah, so that was really convenient. So that's nice. It only took a little bit of code. Let's move it up a little bit. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of design stuff that happens later. That I have to kind of get into, but for right now, we're not too worried about that. Okay, cool. So let's assume something like that. Okay, yeah, so basically the idea I have, the reason I'm putting these clouds in, is that I'm thinking we can probably do something like... Okay, first of all, we can get rid of that. We can call this clouds. Could probably do something like, and it's stuttering right now only because it's in editor, but when you get in the game, it won't. So you'll see, if I move around, it does not stutter. That's because every frame, I don't know, don't worry about it. But just know that if something is stuttering in scene view, it's just because. Okay. So I'm thinking it'll start off like this, and then as you're like, it'll be like, and it'll kind of fill the sky, and then the color will be like, maybe, what do I make this color? Something darker. Maybe the density has to go full blown. How would this work? But anyway, you get what I'm saying. The clouds get a little darker. Sky gets darker. I might need to change the skybox. I might need to... I guess that looks like kind of a dark sky. You know, I'm no artist, but that's not bad. Hey, Nutty. Ultimate Dragon King. Hey, Nutty. Yes, let's go. You're the best. So, yeah, so this will get dark, and then I think maybe the speed will increase, so it'll probably start rolling through fairly quickly. And then the lightning will start. So we don't really have that yet. I guess even this I'm not gonna touch up right now. I'm kind of just getting these in a little bit, but not really touching them up. So I'm just kind of, because I'll do the more miscellaneous code on my own time probably. You know what, guys? Actually, give me about 30 seconds here. I just need to fill my water cup up because I'm getting very thirsty from all the talking. But I'll be right back. All right, hopefully that wasn't too long for you guys. Everybody's gone. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's see. Can you give me a hint to lead me to the golden hands? Nutty, I've told you this 1,000 times, broski. It's just it's a 1 in 500 chance for the golden hands. You can't. There's no hint. I think only one person got it. Okay, cool. Oh, and I guess I need to change this ground crush to... I don't know, what power should we do next? So this way you kind of got in. Could do lightning. Let's do dust and bowl. Dust and bowl should be fairly simple. Well, actually, I kind of need to know how deep the bowl is going to crush before I do dust and bowl. So we can't really do that. Dust and bowl is basically once the ground crushes, it no longer makes sense for your particle system to be shooting dust near you, and the dust is now coming out of the bowl in the bottom. So that should make sense. Rocks. Wind and trees. I don't quite want to do the trees yet because I really don't know how I'm going to do them. It's a weak headset, so I can't do like these really nice trees. I'll have to do some sort of stylized trees. I'm thinking like... Honestly, I might even make them just like a cube with like cube branches, and then I'm going to have to make some sort of function that... I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Do you code games for a living, or do you have a different job? So currently this is my job. So I'm hoping to not have to get a job. I'm hoping that I can sort of make this my living quickly enough to where post-COVID I don't have to go back to getting a job. If I got a job, yes, it would probably be at a game company. I have worked at game companies. I just don't. I like doing my own thing. Let's say that. I find it fun hanging out with you guys and teaching you guys. So let's see. Onion trees, rocks, just ball, birds. Maybe let's see if we can get the birds working. The birds might be a little bit of a freaking problem because that also was custom. So we would have to do it custom as well. Let me think though. And the aura could be cool too. Let's check out the aura maybe. Do I have any arts, materials? Okay, so I have this, and I guess I'm thinking that it's gonna just kind of, is there gonna be an aura when you transform? Yeah, so, okay, so I answered your question there. Maybe start your own company. Yeah, I do have my own company. It's called Sol 5 Studios. You'd be surprised how easy it is to start a company. It takes about 15 minutes and like $50, and you have a company, so. Yeah, I already have one. So let's see. Okay, so we have this. Let's actually go ahead and make it smaller. Maybe like 256. Yeah, 1,000 was probably too much for what we were going to do with it. Metmavs, blah, 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 blah. Repeat by linear. Sounds good. Input texture alpha. What is the alpha? Doesn't have an alpha. From grayscale. Apply. Okay. If we move this out here. Okay, we can't. Let me think. Basically, let's create a particle effect. Effects, particle system. And let's see if we can figure this bad boy out. We'll reset. Can I not reset all of this? Reset. Okay, so we have this little particle system that, oops, we just want to do shaded for. Okay, so this will take a little minute, but this is kind of a fun thing to do as well, so. Oh, the anchor's hit? The anchor came in, Caleb? Heck yeah, it did. That's awesome. And for those of you who don't know, they sell Oculus Link cables for like $75, but you can just buy an anchor cable for $20, which is enough for any parent, really, or any adult to pretty much just buy it for you instantly. So that's cool. So Caleb was able to get that, and now he can develop easier. Because if I didn't have this cable, trying to develop for this headset would be a pretty horrible experience. It would be, you would have to build each time. You'd have to come in here, you'd build it, it would deploy to the headset, then you'd have to put the headset on and run it. Whereas with this, I don't have to do that. And now Caleb does not either. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at this. So currently, what do we have? And let's call this Aura. Aura! Aura! No! I don't know why it's putting me over there, but okay, cool. Aura, let us maybe make a material out of this. We'll call it Aura. And I guess it's going to be a universal render pipeline particle simple lit. Or maybe even unlit. Okay, let's leave it simple lit for now. We will give it the spiky aura. Cool. We will... That's already white. No specular highlights. No normal map. Random face front. Or maybe both for now. And multiply. Okay, should be good. And then we come back to this power level helper. Nope, sorry, not that. Aura. And we should be able to give it this. Okay, so not great so far, but let's see. Make it stretched. I don't want an angular velocity. What I need is a star rotation. Huh, it's not rotating it. Weird. What the heck? Should be rotating it. Is it because it's stretched billboard? Oh, you know what it is? What do we need here? Also, we need this too. Okay, it's not quite what we want. I don't know why it's not quite working. Oh, you know what? There we go. And then this one, I think we can switch back to... No, what the heck? Okay, for now, let's just do this alpha clipping. I'm not a crazy artist, let's say that. Aura? Aura? What would aura... I guess aura. I think it is aura. How do you guys say it? Aura? 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 Okay, let's see if we can... Not quite. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we have this. Let's go ahead and rotate it like this. -90. So at least it's going up. So up is good. We want up. Then alpha is transparency from grayscale. Yeah, oh wait. Here we go. Okay, cool. So that's more what we want. Of course, it's not even close to what we're going for yet, but that's whatever. Emission, sorry, shape, cone, it's going up. Let's do one. Let's make it so it's really just spawning from the edges. Emit from base, texture, rotation. Okay, that's the emission rotation. That's not what we want. It's not really what we want either. We might need to do some work in here into getting this to point the right direction. That's pretty much what I'm trying to figure out. Aura is from JoJo. It's Star Platinum's Battle Cry. Oh, okay. Or I'm weird and say our Aura? Aura? Okay. Okay, I'm just kind of messing around with values here. I'm not the world's biggest particle effect guy, so let's see. Okay, that's better. Okay, cool. So that's a win for sure. Okay, so that's a win. Let's see. It's still, I wonder why it looks so dark. But that's okay. Let's go into color over lifetime. And in these alpha sections, we'll add a little bit. And we'll change this to 0. So it fades in. And then we'll add another here, and we'll change that to 0. Oh. Change that to 0. Basically what this is saying is that be fully transparent and then slowly go to not transparent, then go from not transparent to fully transparent. So let's see what that gets us. Let me change my speed a little bit so I can actually maneuver here. They live too long for me to... Okay, you can see they're fading out and fading in. So that's good. That's a win. I think when you're in the center of it, if I'm having it aligned to your view, I think that it'll look good. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure yet. So everybody loves JoJo now. I don't know. I never watched it. Yeah, whatever. I never watched it, but everybody loves it now. I tried watching it. I didn't really understand what was happening in it, to be honest. But you guys like it a lot, it seems like. Alright, what else do we need? It needs to be whiter, doesn't it? It's just not white enough. But let me see. If I make this yellow, is it going to look good? Yeah, it looks like a dark yellow. Let me take off my flux so I can actually see. It makes it like a weirdly dark yellow for some reason. There will not be enemies to punch. There will not be enemies to punch. There will be trees, I think. I'm figuring that out as I go. What was I'm trying to... Now I'm seeing if I can shape it, and I'm wondering how to do that. Maybe some sort of velocity over lifetime. Oh. Did they just get brighter? Let me see here. Or, okay, so that's a better yellow. That looks better to me for sure. Okay, cool. Hey, Sky Blue. Glad you're here. We are currently working on the aura, but I'm no artist, but I think it's coming together fairly well. Let's see. First of all, let's get that lifetime down to 2 seconds. Let's get that start speed up to 10, because these bad boys should be shooting out. You're really freaking powering up, so let's see here. And then, Okay, that doesn't appear to do anything. Let's put it back. Oh, I see. So I guess when it's a stretched billboard, the rotation doesn't do anything. So it looks like I need maybe... It looks like maybe what I need is... Let's try this one more time. Let's rotate it this way. All right, rotated to. It's from grayscale, alpha is transparency. Take this, override it, make it 1K, apply it. Or 512, apply it. Just so it's smaller. And then that I think was all good. Then we just need to come in here, put this in here. Okay, very cool. So that's what we want. And we do want it stretched, I think. Okay, so that's pretty good. Obviously not the look of it, but the fact that we have aura coming out from the bottom and that it's facing us and pointed in the right direction. I think that's going pretty well right there. So then we need, what else do we need? Let's take a look now. Set to 30. How does this work exactly? How is this gonna work? I feel like we need it to be way bigger. And then maybe to have less opacity. So that looks cool right there at your feet. If you were looking down, I would be happy with that. So if we can just, yeah, if I was looking down and I saw that, I'd be pretty happy with that. I think is there some way we can see ourselves in the game? There will be, Mr. Josu. There will be. I'd be pretty happy with that. If I looked out, I would not be so pumped. I guess I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't be I'd probably accept it, but I think we can do a little better. And let's see. So how do we do better on that? I'd say maybe there's some sort of... Okay, I don't know what that is, but it's not terrible actually. And also, what does it... Because I'm thinking we probably want to start the aura, and at some point it should change yellow. Oh, your mom's gonna be pissed for sure. Your mom's gonna be upset, 100%. Okay, let's see. Start delay, start lifetime, 3D start size. It might help if we make it a random between two constants. And if we set this to 2. Again, I really like the bottom. The bottom works really well. So these must be huge. Let me get in here and look at what this actually looks like in the game, because these must be really huge right now. Oh, it's so epic when you look down. And still kind of epic right here. When you look up, it looks very bad. But maybe I just cut it a little earlier so that you can't. Oh, yeah, and then you have the dust going, and you're like, yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Let's see. So that's pretty good. Let's maybe mess with it while I'm in here so that I can actually test what's good. Let's say that's good. Okay. So 1.78, 0.36. Okay. Okay, I'd say for me to feel good about this as of right now, all we really need now is to figure out this sort of the top part. Because the bottom is pretty cool, and even this part's pretty cool. I wonder if the size over lifetime, I wonder if we can use size over lifetime. Size over lifetime. And let's see. I never know how this stuff works. Start it at 0.3 and let it go to 1, and then let's turn this emission. Let's make that 1. Actually, you know what this should be like? Should probably be way faster. And then let's increase the emission to 100. Let's see how that is. I need to get better at this whole thing here because it always just confuses me. Like, I don't know why this can't just be straight. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah, I think this might be perfect. I think we might have done it. Let's see. If you have time at the end of the stream, can you show me how to set up the anchor cable? Yeah. Yeah, I should have time for that, Caleb. And I'll be in the Discord anyway, in that Make New Friends section. Oh my god, this is epic. Oh, it's so funny. It's funny how the simplest stuff is so good. Is okay. If I can just close in that top section, it doesn't even matter. You guys are gonna like it anyway. But I feel like I want to close in that top section. I really don't know how to do that. But let's see. Let's just take a few minutes and see if we can figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully I can go. The Super Saiyan 3 is what I used in the TikTok, so if you want to go Super Saiyan 3, you're going to have to really scream. Okay. The Super Saiyan 3 power, I don't know if you guys watch the show, but the Super Saiyan 3 power was so ridiculous. He's just like, he's screaming for like full on like 4 minutes in this show. Just, and everyone's watching like, geez, Goku, calm down. And he's like, alright, let's see. Okay. I always end up surprising myself with what I can make. Despite how... It's funny, it looks terrible from the outside. From the inside, it looks great. Okay, so let's see if we can get it. I guess we just want it to... Because I feel like their aura is always kind of closing in on top of them. It's never like just kind of shooting off into the atmosphere. They're like containing it in some sense. So let's take a look. Start speed. Very cool. Let's see. And now we just hope it can run on the quest. Force over lifetime could be good. Inherit controls the velocity inherited by the emitter. Color by rotation over lifetime, external rotation by speed. I don't know why I'm reading through all these like that. Like, oh, external. Actually, external forces could help. Okay, never mind. No, it won't. Let's see. Yeah, let's give them trails. Yeah, I think our best bet is probably going to be force over lifetime, or I think there was another one, but okay, so that will make them bend that way, so that's not really what we want. What about X? Is that bending another way? Okay, that's making him shoot that way. Looks like I'm about to take off and fly. And I think that's just making them go higher. No, world won't work. Oh, I forgot we had this velocity over lifetime. Oh, wait a second. This might be exactly what we want. Jeez, what's happening? Oh, wow. Okay. That's not what we want. I'm having a hard time even seeing what's happening here. Okay, let's change this to Let's change this to 2. So that was 0.5 and 20. Let's change it to, and remember that number for me, guys, 0.5 and 20. Although I'll probably remember myself, and let's change this to 10, just so that I can see what's actually happening here. Okay, so if it's 0, it goes straight up. If it's 2, I guess it's pushing it outwards. I can't tell if it's rotating on this axis. I can't tell if it's rotating on that axis or if it's doing something more than that. I can't shake the feeling that this is what we're looking for. I just don't know how to control it. It like goes in, then goes out. If you look at these right here, it looks like it's sucking it in and then sucking it out. So I don't know. Let's leave it. Jeez, I don't know what's happening, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so it is some sort of vortex. So I don't think the offset is doing anything. I was hoping maybe it would move this choke point, but it doesn't appear to be doing that. So let's set that to 0. Okay, cool. And let's set this back to 0.5 and 20. And it appeared to be this number that we wanted. It is kind of doing it. But it's also really rotating in a circle. So that's not really what we want. That's okay. All right, that's okay. I'll think about it later. For right now, I think this is really good. This is a good place to be at. So that's cool. So that's good. I guess the aura would probably kick in. I guess the aura would probably kick in before you went Super Saiyan. So either we make a separate one, but I don't think we should do that. I think we should probably change the color input here, which means that we need to You know, because we don't want to change the color here. We want this to just be white. I mean, we certainly could, but I think it would be easier if that was white, and then we came down here and we changed the tint. And then that way, if we wanted to go Kaioken, we could make it red. And if we wanted to go, you know, Ultra Instinct, it would be like, I guess, white. And Super Saiyan God would be some sort of blue. Something like that. So it'll start out white. It'll start out white. I don't know what the difference between Ultra Instinct and... Let's see. I'm colorblind if you guys can tell me what color that is. I guess it's like silver, isn't it? Anyway. Alright. But it'll start out white and we'll change it as the game goes through to switch to a yellow. You'll be like... Something like that. So that should be good. Okay, cool. It's like a blue with gray. Okay. Okay, cool. Some sort of bluish gray. Sounds good. Okay, so that's good. So we got the aura. Sky darken. We don't have rocks. We don't have the ground shake either. Ground shake should be simple. Let's see if we can grab that. Okay, so these hills. Set. Well, actually, sorry. Let's just set this one to 1. Cool. And then let's work on a script for the ground to start shaking. And I believe I've already written this. So let's come in here. We'll do power levels, ground vibrates. Ground vibrates, so that should be good. So let's take a look at how this works. So what am I doing right now? Yeah, let me change this. To earthquake. I'm working on making the ground shake currently. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. So I just changed the position a little bit, essentially. It's a power event. Cool. Alright, cool. Nothing crazy there. So we'll take the hills. We'll add ground. Vibrate. We'll set that equal to 2. And I believe the vibrate strength is just going to be like 0.05. And then the audio source. Let's go ahead and create power level sound effects. Let's call it earthquake sound. And let's give it an audio source so that I can play some audio. And then let's go back to the effects. Sorry, not effects. Let's go back to hills and give it this. And then let's go into this. I think there's... Which of these earthquake sounds sounded good? I can't hear anything. It is coming through. It is coming through the speakers. I don't know why. I'm not really hearing it. There we go. Okay, Earthquake 3. Okay, and it's going to be... I guess it's just going to be 2D. It will loop. It will not play on awake. Volume will be 1. Power level start 2. Okay, cool. So when you get in the game, you're in there. You hit power level 1. The dust starts. Hit it again. Ground starts shaking. Okay, cool. To me, that looks like a pretty good shake. Let me check it out, though. And the sound plays. This is so funny. Okay, sweet. Okay, very cool. Very cool, so the ground shaking is pretty much in. Yeah, a lot of this game is... So the reason I picked this game is because I had that back injury and I was out for 2 weeks. And I figured I could make this in only like 2 weeks or so. So I thought it would be a good one to do to get us back on track. And that's probably why I'm rolling through it so quickly here. I'm running out of things to do and it's only been 3 hours. Okay, wind and trees, birds, lightning. Let's... Part of me wants to get the birds in. The other part of me wants to do lightning. Let's... Because the birds are a little more interesting, perhaps. Because they require some rotational math. The lightning, though, it's lightning. Alright, let's just move forward. Let's see, how would I get the lightning? Do I have the... I'm basically going to get it from a package. So let's go ahead and import that package, and they might just have some prefabs in there for the lightning. And you know what, at the same time, let me change the skybox. I believe I'll just use the one from Silkworm. What is it that I'm doing here? It's the skybox, but let me see. I believe it was called daytime. So let's copy that. And let's go put it in the... Where would this be? Let's just put it right here. The skybox is what you see in the sky, by the way. the name, I believe, makes some sense. And then it'll take a little bit because it's got to decompress and then re-import this texture. Okay. So we got daytime, put it in art, put it in skybox. This is I believe it's a cube map, is it not? I should be able to make this a cube map. I should be able to put this on here, and then I should be able to... I don't think this is going to work for whatever reason. I believe I've done something wrong here. I'm just not sure what yet. Okay, cool. And then I think I can just turn down the... Alright, come on, what's happening? Why can't I see the clouds? Okay, we'll worry about that later. But basically I wanted to... Okay, it looks like I just put the cube map... What is going on here? Okay, here we go. So I should be able to... I guess that might work. Just lowering that with the clouds to do some sort of storm effect. Okay, I don't know why now I'm not able... whatever. Okay, whatever. For some reason, I'm only seeing the clouds up to this arc here, and I can't change it. Which is annoying me. It's annoying me. I don't want to... Okay, that fixed it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so something like that should work fine. At least fine enough. So that's good. And let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and take this and set this back to 1 for now. And we'll set the clouds to not be crazy dense. Just normal clouds. And white. Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Josu. It was good having you here. Thank you for the questions, and I hope to see you later. Okay, cool. So then... Oh yeah, we were going to get in the Omni whatever. Let's see, it's basically a cloud system. The reason we're not using it, because it's really cool, you can change between like rain and sunshine and things like that. The reason we're not using it is because it does not work well enough in VR for us to use. So that's kind of a bummer, but that's, it's whatever, it happens. Let's go cloud. You know what it is. I think it was called Omni. No, sorry, it's called the Unistorm. Unistorm, volumetric clouds, weather. Oh, they had a new release on July 6th. Let me go check this out real quick, guys, because I actually enjoy following this package. Let me see what their newest update did. Unistorm. Because when people make these packages, they do update them and they get better and better, so I'm curious. Okay, I think the last I saw was probably 4.2. Okay, let's see. Backup provided before updating. After you've updated it, you will need to press the update the version before they're put in within the. Okay, improve the way the cloud movement is calculated so there is no longer tearing. Redid Uniswarm's Sun to fully support HDR colors. Added HDR, gradient, added a gradient. It's kind of like Christmas when these assets that you like a lot get updates. Okay, and there's really only one thing I was looking for, and it was not in there, and it was basically support for. You remember how we had to fix this cloud shader so that it would work in both eyes? They don't have that for Unistorm, so that is a bummer, and therefore makes it unusable. But hopefully they fix that at some point. Okay, let's see here. So we're gonna import it all the same because we're gonna be looking for that. We're gonna be looking for that sweet all. That sweet lightning that comes with it. That way we don't have to make our own lightning. And this is a lot of making games, at least with art assets, where you want to kind of use other people's stuff, if you can. Or at least that's what it is for me, someone who is not like a crazy artist myself. And I guess for now, we'll import all of it. Weather, particle effects, lightning. Okay, cool. So we're basically looking in there. This might take a second since we're importing all of it. Any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it? And for those who just joined, we're currently importing the lightning that we're going to use for the game. So we just have to wait a minute for it to do that. But now is a good time for questions. You'd be surprised how much game development is sitting here like, yeah, hopefully it'll import. Let's see. Anything else we can look at while we're waiting? I guess we could close some of these windows. Is there any math I could talk about? I know how pumped you guys are about math. Okay. Have you guys learned about graphs yet? Anyone want to learn about graphs? No, you'd have to learn about functions first. Let's see. Have you guys learned about functions? Things like, I'm just waiting for it to import, so I'm just stalling for time. Have you guys learned about, so you know how you have like 2 plus 2 equals 4, but you also have like 2 plus 5 equals 7. So you can actually make a function, and basically what it would be is it'd be 2 plus x equals y. And basically all that's saying is that we don't know what x is yet and we don't know what y is yet. But whatever you're going to plug in there, we'll figure it out. So then you're saying x could be 1. And if it's 1, it's 2 plus 1 equals 3. So in this case, x was 1 and y equals 3. You could do 2, let's say x was 7. You could do 2 plus 7. And now x would be 7 and y would be 9. So it's basically just like it's like a mathematical equation you set up that allows you to input whatever you want, and that will change the output. As opposed to these ones where the inputs are static. The input for this one is always 2 and 2, but the input for this one is always 2 and some random number that you can put in there. It doesn't really matter what the number is. So once you have something like that, you have graphs, where if we were to graph this, you'd basically say, okay, well, if we have this line here, and right here at the center, that corresponds to x equals 0, and right here, this is x equals 1, this is x equals 2, 3, 4, and so on. Basically, as you go along the line, it changes the value of x. What does the graph of it look like? And then these are going to be y values, which are outputs of the function. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we came right here at the beginning and we were like, okay, x equals 0 right here, where is y? So you would say, okay, if it's 2 plus 0, it's 2. So you'd start here, draw a little dot, then you'd come out here and you say, okay, well, if x equals 1, then what is it? And you'd say 2 plus 1 equals 3. Okay, so now it's 3. When x equals 2, or x equals 1, y equals 3. At least according to this function right here. And then you would keep doing that, and you'd find that this is going to be 4. This is going to be 5. And so on. And so the graph of this will look like that. Then you just connect all the dots, and you have the graph of it. So that is graphing. It's basically just plotting out the points of a equation. And this equation could be anything. So 2 plus x equals y is 1. You could have 2 minus x equals y. Hey, Lemonhead Gaming. We're currently waiting for something to import, so I'm just talking about graphing and math, if you guys don't know it. You can have 2 minus x. You can have 2 times x equals y. You can have whatever you want, so that's kind of the fun of it. And these would all have different graphs. So this one here, 2 minus x, would be the same thing except a different direction. Because if you look at 0, it's going to be 2. If you look at 1, it's going to be 1. If you look at 2, it's going to be 0, so it'll come through here. And 2 times x, we'll start here. What would 2 times x be? I think it would be this. It's just a sharper curve. So that's kind of fun. We use a lot of that in game development is why I'm talking about it. Basically, you use it to kind of, like we used it to make that crush, that Hills crush script that we had, where basically, I can't show you guys now because it's importing this stuff. But you could use it, like, a graph would also be good for, let's see here. If I wanted a platform to go back and forth, and I had to code it, like I have a platform, it's this rectangle, and I need it to go back and forth. I would actually need to make a graph. I would basically need to come up with some equation like this that makes a graph that looks like this. So then you would have to do some math. Because basically you'd be saying like, okay, it has its here position, and then we're going to move that position along this line, and you're going to move it according to the output value of this graph here. So that it's going to move it over here, then it's going to move it back here, and then over here, and back here. And you can see it kind of does that here. Just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So that's fun. But hopefully this will finish up soon here. Actually, while we're doing this, let me take a look at my... So we have bird spawner. We'll probably have to change that. It's not actually the bird spawner that I care so much about. Let me think here. There's another shader. And it would be in Power Up Simulator old, assets, scripts, shaders, sprite bird shader. And I believe that that's going to use useful math. Okay, it looks like it's done. So let's not worry about that for now. Okay, cool. So now we have Unistorm in here. We'll move it all into imported. I just like to keep the things that I know I did not make in this imported folder. That way I know where to find them. Unistorm. They have a lot of stuff in here. Prefabs. Weather prefabs. Yeah, blowing pollen. I was just curious about it, but it does not appear that it's doing anything. And that is because they're all broken, which makes sense. But it looks like lightning is actually not broken, so that's good. That's good. Prefabs, weather effects. What are we looking at here? Blowing snow, drizzle, hail, heavy snow, lightning bugs, lightning bugs, lightning bugs, lightning strike effect. Let's put that bad boy in there. All right. All right, let's see here. We're trying to get the lightning working. Audio spores set despawn object to Unistorm. Okay, I'm not actually sure where the lightning itself is. It looks like this is just a bunch of stuff that goes around it. I wonder how they are doing the lightning in Unistorm. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's see if I can grab it. Where's my mouse? For some reason, it took my mouse away from me. And it did it again. Okay. Oh my god, the lightning is the only thing that works. That's hilarious. Okay, it looks like it's a little, it works like in a little bit weirder way than I thought maybe. Okay, cool. So let's take a look here. Okay, so it's got a bunch of stuff going on here. I'm thinking maybe we can just whittle it down to what we need so that we can just create simple lightning strikes. So let's take a look at their code and see what it is that they're doing. Okay, so you have a bunch of stuff here. On start, it finds the Unistorm system and it gets component lightning strike. Ground strike odds, lightning strike effect. So this is the meat of it right here. Create lightning strike, ray cast, do a roll, ground strike odds. Else, if it hits something, ray cast. Unistorm system instance lightning struck object. Start this coroutine. Let me go back real quick. Okay, so it sets the object that it hit. Sets the object that it hit, and then over here in generate lightning, it sets the object that it hit to null. And then it starts this coroutine draw lightning, which ends down there. Okay, so this is where it's drawing the lightning. Animate the light. Lightning bolt dot enabled. Start coroutine, thunder sound delay. Okay, so then there's some sound. I thought that it already did this. Okay, it looks like it might actually happen here. Okay, get the component, lightning strike. Okay, that's not too crazy. I'll probably do this. I'll probably work through this some other time. Let me think. There's basically just a function here, a numerator that says draw the lightning, and then it basically says keep generating the points while you're um, keep generating the points while that lightning is going, and then stop at some point. The only problem is it's kind of externally connected to a whole bunch of different things. So maybe there's something on the asset store. Because for it to be so heavily tied, let me go into the main. Let me go into the main. Let me create something. Let me call it lightning. And hit object. Yeah, maybe there's just something on the asset store. Hey guys, right now we're currently trying to get the lightning going. Hey, Mr. Josu, good. We're trying to get the lightning going. We have about 30 minutes left in the stream. I'm hoping that we can get something in then, but it looks to be a little more complicated than maybe I was initially thinking. Realistic lightning pack, let me see. Okay, my question is basically just, because I'll pay $5, I don't care, for some lightning. My question is whether or not it supports URP. But I don't know how to. It doesn't have any reviews. I mean, it looks good. I'd use it. Let me think. Shirk and particle system. I mean, it looks good. I want to use it. Okay. Let's check for other ones and then we'll just buy it. If it, and then we'll just get it anyway. Even if we don't know it's going to work. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that one looks very bad. I don't want to use that one. Okay, let's see here. That could be pretty good. That doesn't look bad. Okay, that one's bad as well. That could be good. Doesn't look like it branches. It's just a single line. I feel like it should branch in some sense, although I think it looks good enough. Okay, let's keep that one in mind. And this one was bad, right? More or less. No, that one was pretty good too. That one's $10. Ooh, that looks pretty good actually. What was that? Sorry, Mr. Josu, I missed the, Yeah, let's roll with this one. Let's see if this one works. And if not, I'm interested in this one, actually. Sorry, I got so caught up in looking through them there, I missed your message. How you doing, by the way, Mr. Josu? You having a good day? There's lesser people in here now, so I can have more one-on-one conversations. Window, package manager, my assets, lightning. I don't remember this. Thor's thunderstorm. What is that? Yes, I'm having a good day. All right, very cool. You do anything fun or you have anything fun planned for the weekend? I'm pretty sure I don't own Thor Thunderstorm. I don't know how I got this. I don't think I own this. Why is this available to me? Okay, well that's clearly what we're gonna use because it looks epic. So I don't know why I have that, but I will take it. Especially if it's $35. I definitely did not pay $35 for it. It must be a problem. It must be like a bug on Unity's end. Yeah, that's okay. I don't have any plans either. I'm just gonna chill. Probably play some video games. I'm trying not to play video games during the week now, so I just binge them on the weekend like 16 hours a day. It's healthy. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, I just went to close my room. We didn't have to hear him. Does not really care if you answer because I know you have to focus on the game. Yeah, but I'm gonna try to answer, Mr. Josu. I like answering. The TikTok blew me up so fast. Well, I guess I wouldn't call like 7 people blow up, but it used to be. Before that I was used to like 2 people, 3 people maybe, and so it's a different type of streaming once you get up to like 6 because you can't really talk to people individually. But that, while interesting in its own right, does take a little bit away from the being able to talk. So let's see. I think, man, this Thor Thunderstorm looks great. It might be too expensive, and by expensive I mean it might be unable to run on a headset like the Quest, but hopefully that is not the case. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Let's see, it's just importing. Well, if you have any questions, Mr. Josu, it's importing, so that would be a good time. I can't remember earlier. Did you say you were interested in making games yourself, or was it you who was saying you envy game developers because, or you get jealous of them, or? Hey, Lemonhead Gaming, glad you're here. We're getting some lightning. We're trying to get this Thor package in here. What did it not import? Okay, it imported all of it. Where is it though? Where is it? I just imported it. Where is it? Plugins? He put it under my plugins folder? What the heck? Get that out of there. Well, I guess I can keep it there if that's what he needs. Thor Thunderstorm? Probability 6%. Camera. Advanced settings. Oh wow, that's a lot. Enable light. Nope. Okay, very cool. Let's see. Let's play and see what happens. Did it glitch out? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Alright, so you still have your aura around you. I can hear it. It set the camera. I can't see it. Okay, how does this thing work? Oh. All right, let's take a look at it in the asset store. It does appear that it is making some form of lightning, but I can't really see it. So let's watch this little video and see how he does it. Thor's thunderstorm. Get ready for the thunder. Get ready to freaking become Thor. Drag the lightning probability slider to the right to start the thunderstorm. Hold right mouse button to look. Press space to enable slow motion. That is exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want. In slow motion. Okay, so this doesn't really tell me how to do it, but it would be cool if it did. There we go. Drag the prefab. Press play. Turn that up to 1. Watch that bad boy go. You have lightning now. Okay, that lightning fast performance. Get ready to see the lightning. All right, well, let's take a look here. That probability, higher values increase the chance that a lightning is spawned in the camera view. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I want that. Let's make sure that's still off. We could not afford it making a light. That would really hurt us. So let's see. Where is this bad boy? Okay, it's right there at the bottom. Was there anything else? I don't think so. I don't know what it is that it's spawning in there, but it's spawning some sort of cloud. Let me go up to it. Okay, I don't know what this cloud's all about, but I don't want it. I don't want the cloud. Can I turn clouds off? Can I turn clouds off? Pool size for clouds. Okay, looks like I'll probably need to go into the object itself. Okay. Let's do this. Let's open this up. Let's get rid of these two things. Let's open this up. Okay, this... Don't know what the sheet lightning is, but I think we just don't want it, basically. And that's fine. But how do we turn sheet lightning off? I think we're going to have to go into the script. Find any time that you do with sheet lightning. And get rid of it. Okay, cool. And then I think it's probably going to be more bugs, but we'll figure those out. Because I'm sure there will be some references to the cloud that I won't be able to find. There we go. So there's some bugs. Okay, spotlight. Where do we use that? So we don't want any of this, that's all the light. So we can get rid of that. And then what else? Get rid of that. And what else? All right, the cloud material. Don't want that, we don't want that. We don't want that, we don't want that. We're basically looking for anything with cloud in it and just getting rid of it. We don't want any of that. We'll never use that, so we get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, cool. So let's see if this works. Looks like we missed one. Must have missed another one somewhere. That's okay. Let's try again. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's get some lightning in here. There we go. And that is how you scrape everything out of a script that you don't want and only keep the stuff that you do want. So now we got a sick lightning storm. So that's good. Obviously, it doesn't make a lot of sense right now because there's no reason to have lightning. It's a nice day out, but it will make more sense later. Let me see if it's playing the sound. Okay. And it looks like we are having a similar problem. Let me get rid of the aura for right now so that I can see. And Unistorm, Lightning Start. What are they doing? Get rid of that. Put this under here. And we're having the same problem we were having. Let me switch these back. And let me see if that fixes the problem, and then maybe we can fix it in a similar way. Oh yeah, this is gonna be epic. Oh my god, this is gonna be so epic. It's so stupid, but so good. I am Thunder, God of Lightning. Okay, cool. So let's see if we can fix that script as well. I'm glad you like it, Mr. Josiah. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. Okay. So, how did we fix it on that other one? Let's fix it the same way. And let's get rid of these real quick. Get rid of that. Oh my god, why did I switch back? Yeah, people are gonna like it a lot, for sure. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've done it before, and it's like, it's so dumb, like, you won't play it more than, like, twice, but when you do play it, you're just like, yeah! You get so pumped, and it's so funny. And we're making good progress here, so that's good too. Okay, cool. What was I gonna do? Oh my gosh, my brain is like totally depleted. Just so. Oh, we only have 2 minutes in the stream anyway. That's okay. What was I gonna do? I was just about to do something. I had made the lightning. I think I needed to get in there and change the value or something. Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. Okay, so this lightning prefab, open it up. Lightning bolt. It's using a shader called Thor Lightning. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know you could do this. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing we did before. What did we do it for? I was like on 2D cloud shader. And hopefully it just works same way. That would be extremely epic. I again have about a 2% faith in this. That this is actually just gonna work nilly-willy. Oh, please work for me, Unity. And then it'll just do it. But, you know, it worked the first time, so. Compute eye depth. I didn't know that was a thing. So this one's doing a little bit more complicated stuff. So it makes me think it probably won't work, but let's just try it anyway. Where's all the lightning? There we go. It worked, baby. It worked! Now we don't have to find some other lightning asset. We can just use this one. Hell yeah. It's gonna be so awesome. Okay, guys, that was I'm happy with what we accomplished today. It is 5, so that would be the end of the stream. If you guys have not joined the Discord, I would highly recommend it. It's a great place to be with a community of people who care a lot about either playing games or making them. And if you want to make them yourselves, it's a great way to learn. So, thank you, everybody. It was a good day, and I'll see you guys later. And and I'm gonna hop in and make new friends in the Discord, so I'll be there for about 30 minutes. So, see you guys later.